We are counting down the 8 United Kingdom bread brands you should avoid, exposing the hidden additives, chemicals, and shortcuts lurking in supermarket loaves. From gut-disrupting emulsifiers to preservatives linked with alarming health effects, each entry reveals new ways your daily bread might be undermining your well-being. Which brand is hiding the most shocking ingredient? Let us begin our countdown with number 8. Warburtons, a household name across the UK, relies on more than flour, water, and yeast to keep its loaves soft and shelf-ready. The toasty loaf contains emulsifier E472E, a chemical linked in recent studies to disruptions in gut bacteria and increased inflammation. The company also uses L-cysteine to condition dough and speed up mixing. L-cysteine is often derived from poultry feathers, or, in the past, even human hair, a detail rarely shown on the label. Warburtons uses the Chorleywood bread process, a factory method that turns raw ingredients into finished bread in just 3 hours, bypassing the slow fermentation that makes traditional bread easier to digest. The result is bread that stays soft for days but owes its texture and longevity to a cocktail of additives, not careful baking. Hovis has built its reputation on nostalgia, but the ingredient list tells a different story. Caramel colouring is used to give their loaves a rich, appealing hue, yet this additive can contain 4-MEI, a chemical flagged as a carcinogen in animal studies. Regulators in California require warning labels for 4-MEI, while UK authorities have yet to take action, leaving British consumers in the dark. To keep costs low and extend shelf life, Hovis recipes rely on highly refined palm oil heated to temperatures that can form genotoxic esters, compounds linked to DNA damage. Some Hovis products also use genetically modified soy flour, raising concerns about glyphosate residues, though the company says it meets British safety limits. Even the wholemeal label is often misleading. Many Hovis loaves are made by recombining white flour with bran rather than using true whole grain. The branding may promise tradition, but the reality is a blend of industrial shortcuts and chemicals that few shoppers recognize. Kingsmill bread lines up alongside the rest of the supermarket shelf, but the numbers on the nutrition panel tell a different story. The white and 50/50 loaves clock in with a high glycemic index, meaning each slice is engineered to break down fast and flood the bloodstream with sugar. This isn't just a matter for people with diabetes. Frequent blood sugar spikes and crashes can drive hunger, mood swings, and over time increase the risk of metabolic disorders. The 50/50 variety, often marketed as a healthier choice, contains high fructose glucose syrup, a sweetener linked in medical studies to fatty liver disease and abnormal fat buildup in the body. Refined rapeseed oil, another staple in the recipe, is highly processed and can act much like trans fats, fueling inflammation in the body. Even the so-called wholemeal option comes with added sugar, pushing sweetness and digestibility even higher. For millions of people eating these loaves every day, the real cost isn't just in the price, it's paid out in metabolic stress, one sandwich at a time. Sainsbury's own brand bread has become a fixture in countless UK kitchens, but a closer look at the ingredient list reveals more than just flour and water. The preservative calcium propionate, listed as E282, is added to keep mold at bay and to extend shelf life. While regulators have approved its use, recent studies have raised concerns about effects on children. Research from the University of Western Australia found that calcium propionate can trigger irritability and attention issues in some children after just a few servings. These findings have sparked debate between food safety authorities and independent scientists, with industry-backed studies downplaying the risks. Yet for parents, the possibility that a daily staple could influence behaviour is hard to ignore. Beyond preservatives, Sainsbury's white loaves rely on ultra-refined flour stripped of most fibre and nutrients. The result is bread that fills a lunchbox but offers little nourishment. With so many additives and so little substance, the true cost of convenience bread is often paid in ways that do not show up on the price tag. Asda Smart Price bread is built for budget, but the ingredient list reads more like a chemistry set than a bakery recipe. One additive, azodicarbonamide, is notorious worldwide for its double life, used as a flour improver in food and as a blowing agent in the manufacture of yoga mats and plastic foam. While this chemical is still found in some international breads, it has been banned from United Kingdom bread production since 2005. The controversy lingers because, when heated during baking, azodicarbonamide breaks down into semicarbazide, a compound flagged in animal studies as a possible carcinogen. Even though United Kingdom law now prohibits its use, the shadow of azodicarbonamide's industrial past still shapes public perception of cheap, ultra-processed loaves. What remains in Asda Smart Price bread are other permitted additives, preservatives and emulsifiers designed to keep the loaf soft and mold-free far longer than any home-baked bread. The result is a product that can sit on the shelf for days, sometimes weeks, without changing texture or growing mold, raising questions about what is sacrificed in the name of shelf life and cost savings. Tesco value bread is built for the bottom line, but the shortcuts start to show the moment you check the label. Modified wheat starch is used to bulk up the loaf, a processed filler that has been linked in clinical studies to bloating and poor digestion. Instead of high-quality flour, Tesco Value relies on added gluten to make up for low protein content, creating a texture that mimics proper bread but does not deliver the same nutrition. Then there is the ingredient called simply vegetable oil, a vague term that can mean anything from refined palm to rapeseed oil, both chosen for cost and shelf life rather than health. UK regulations allow this vague labelling, leaving shoppers guessing which oils and which processing methods they are really eating. Fibre content is another casualty, with most Tesco Value white loaves offering less than 2 grams per serving, far below what is needed for healthy digestion. The result is a product that fills you up but leaves your gut and your right to know shortchanged. For anyone looking to avoid digestive discomfort or hidden additives, ingredient transparency is just as important as price. Lidl Baker's Life bread brings a different kind of risk, one that goes beyond the usual list of additives. The journey starts far from the UK, with dough part baked in factories abroad, frozen, and then shipped into British stores to be finished on site. This system allows for the use of processing aids and improvers that never appear on the label, thanks to UK rules that let manufacturers keep these ingredients hidden from shoppers. But the problems do not end with undisclosed additives. In 2017, Lidl was forced to recall thousands of loaves after customers reported finding pieces of plastic and even metal in their bread. The Food Standards Agency stepped in, and factory audits uncovered lapses in cleaning and quality control that had allowed these contaminants to slip through. Minor injuries were reported, and Lidl faced regulatory fines and public scrutiny. The company responded by upgrading inspection procedures. The incident left a mark. This was bread that failed not just on nutrition, but on basic safety. Even today, Baker's Life loaves are known for high salt and added sugars like dextrose, but it is the combination of hidden processing and proven contamination that sets this bread apart as a direct risk to consumers. Aldi's Village Bakery tops the list for all the wrong reasons. Salt levels in these loaves are among the highest found in any major UK supermarket bread, with nutrition audits showing some varieties pushing well past 1 gram per 100 grams, a figure that stands out even in a market notorious for sodium excess. For anyone watching blood pressure or heart health, that statistic alone is enough to raise alarms. But the problems do not end there. The so-called superseded loaf, often displayed as a healthy option, is little more than refined white bread with a scattering of seeds on the crust. The Advertising Standards Authority received multiple complaints about this kind of branding, and Aldi and other retailers were forced to clarify their labels after findings that these loaves deliver none of the fibre or micronutrient benefits promised by whole grain bread. The baking process itself is another red flag. Like much of the industrial sector, Aldi's bread is produced start to finish in just 3 hours, barely enough time for proper fermentation, leaving bread that is harder to digest and less nutritious. Aldi's combination of extreme salt, misleading marketing, and rapid nutrient-poor production makes Village Bakery the most concerning brand on the shelf. For shoppers seeking real nourishment, the risks here outweigh the savings. Across all 8 brands, one pattern stands out. Industrial bread in the UK is built on speed, chemicals, and illusion, not nutrition. Every cheap loaf hides a chemistry lab. The lesson is simple. Real bread is not made in minutes. It is slow, simple, and honest. Your daily staple deserves better.